Hey guys, it's Riley the Flash, and I have just a couple videos for you for the next few days. So, as most of you know, this weekend was supposed to be Midwest Horse Fair, but due to COVID, it has been canceled. So, I thought I'd just talk about a little bit what we do there during all of the days that we're there. We usually go Thursday, and we get a hotel till Sunday. And the reason we go Thursday is because we take items for the consignment sale, for the 4-H consignment sale, that is in the basement of the Coliseum. And so, since it's Thursday, I'll explain kind of what's going on there Thursday. Thursday is just the day that all of the horses come in. There's, for groups, they have certain times that they are allowed into the Coliseum. I don't think in the other arenas they might have a schedule as well for times that groups are allowed to go in and practice in their arenas that they'll be in throughout the weekend, to get their horses in there, make sure they get to see it. And each group, I think, usually will have at least one time section and at least one of the arenas. Now, if you are somebody who is in a clinic with a clinician and you had applied and you got accepted and you are taking your horse, you don't necessarily have a time that you're going to be in the arena or the arena that you'll be in. You might not even be able to get into that arena before your clinic. So we took Flash in 2014. My mom was in a clinic with Chris Cox, and the clinic she was in happened to be in the Coliseum Saturday at 1 o'clock, so it was right in the middle of the day when everybody's eating, sitting around in the Coliseum. The entire place was packed. We were lucky enough, we got Flash into the Coliseum evening Thursday, and he did fantastic in there. He didn't care one bit about the Coliseum. He kind of looked around a little bit, but what horse wouldn't when they're in a new, huge environment like that? He also, Thursday night, had been introduced to the one-armed bandit with his big truck, flashing lights, rams, and dogs. The rams had decided Flash was a good place to hide. Flash didn't care one bit. He just stood there. Flashing lights didn't bother him. However, Saturday when it came for him to be in the Coliseum, he was scared of the black lines on the cement. I was like, seriously, you don't care about the big flashing lights on the truck, but you're worried about the black lines on the cement. And I know horses are afraid of stuff like that because they either think it's holes or could be snakes, but it was just really funny to see the difference in that. So the other things going on Thursday is the horses will all come in. They have a whole system for getting horses checked in, and you pull up with your trailer, you get your coggins out, you have to take them back to the trailer, show them your horse to make sure it's the actual horse that's on the coggins, and then they will tell you where your stall is or what stall number you are, and they'll send you off and kind of give you which door is closest to your stall, and then you go get as close as you can, unload your horse, unload whatever stuff you need. There is no guarantee that you'll have a tack stall. You have to pay, at least from when we took Flash, we had to pay extra to get a tack stall, and we actually ended up, we did have a tack stall. I don't think we kept everything in his tack stall, but I think we kept feed and hay in there, and the only reason we ended up with a tack stall is because the person that actually had the stall next to Flash ended up not showing up. There was a bad virus going around for the horses that year, so horses were not showing up just because of the virus. And so we had put plastic up on Flash's stall, and we got all of his bedding ready. So once horses are all checked in, like I said, warm-up time in arenas, and the best thing that I would think is to try to get into the arena that you're going to be in, but there's no guarantee you can. Getting your horse out and just wandering the grounds a little bit would also help, just to make sure that they kind of have a little bit idea of what's going on and they get to see everything around a little bit, because coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there are going to be so many people, and I know that can already make some horses nervous if they aren't used to the large amount of people. On Thursday for the consignment sale for 4-H, they have a certain time that starts sometime in the morning and goes till the afternoon or evening sometime. I don't know exactly what time it was, or it is. We just usually check a couple days before we are planning on going. We have all of our stuff ready before we go. And then the best way to get stuff inside to the consignment sale is you actually want to go to the front of the Coliseum that's off of the road, and you pull up in there and then carry your stuff inside. And it does look a little hectic. There are trailers of people that have a ton of stuff just parked up along the front. Sometimes you can get parked up there. I know we have a couple of times. Generally, the more stuff you have, the closer you want to be to the door, but sometimes you just kind of got to make a couple trips. And in the lobby there are the stairs that head down to the basement of the Coliseum where the actual sale will be, and they have a table set up that they will give you a sheet, and it's, I believe, $10 a sheet. I'd have to check on that too, but you pay a certain amount for the sheet, and then they'll keep 10% of whatever you sell, and then then you'll end up with the rest a couple weeks later, because they always send out the checks for however much you made, because they have to add it all up, see what you end up picking up at the end and what you just leave, and so they have to do all that math, and they decided it's just easier to do it all after the fair ends. So you get in the line, and once you get your sheet, you get into like a second line, and you line up towards their back area, and then once you are able to go in, you head in, and they have all of the tables set up, and that's there for everyone's convenience with zip ties, tape, scissors, anything that you really would need. Anything like saddles, like this one, you would put like a metal ring on with the tag on it, because otherwise the tags end up getting ripped off. And anything over a certain amount, so show clothes that are super expensive, or bridles, or anything really that's above whatever amount it is that year. I think it's usually $50 or so. Anything above that, you also put a metal ring on, and that's just, again, for safety, to make sure that the tag doesn't come off. Once you're done with all that, you find them. I don't remember if you find somebody in that room or if you take your sheet back up to the table, but it's somebody who's volunteering to help at the sale, and they take your top sheet, the white sheet that everything is written on, for their records, and to make sure they have it there for when you need to pick stuff up, and then you keep the yellow sheet from the bottom, and then you're good for the day. I will find some pictures from Thursdays that we've been there of the consignment sale, because it's really cool to just see everything and see it empty. The only people allowed to walk around during that time are the people who are volunteering to help set up the sale and run the sale. Other than that, if you are just consigning items, you are not supposed to be walking around within the sale stuff. And definitely no sales are happening during that time. Also in the lobby, you'll see oftentimes there's groups or a couple of people that are like in groups that have come together that have a ton of consignment items, where they'll get their sheets and then they head back up to their stuff and start filling them out up there, and then take all their stuff down later. I do also want to mention that at the 4-H consignment sale, the only stuff you're allowed to sell are horse items or items related to horse stuff. There was one year that there was an individual that tried to bring a ton of like luggage. They did not let them keep them there. They had to take them all back out to their vehicle because they're not horse related. And yes, it does seem like, oh, it's a good place to sell stuff. You know, there's a ton of people going in and out. If it's not horse related, it's not allowed. And that's just because there's so much stuff in the consignment area. People are allowed to bring stuff Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to sell. And I believe you can pick up Saturday and Sunday. I don't remember if you can pick up Friday. But I know for sure Saturday and Sunday you can both do pickups. Thursday, after we take our consignment stuff, we usually just go sit in the Coliseum for a little while and watch who's coming in. It helps with their horses, I feel, also because then they get to see that there will be people there besides just the giant Coliseum. But, you know, it just kind of depends on the people, how their horse is doing. We always just try to watch for a little while, depending on what else is going on, but really it's just kind of like if we're there, we're going to wander around. If not, we'll go check out the barn for a little bit, because we find that now that we've been going for so long, we like to sit and watch clinics. Much more than just wandering around and seeing the horses. And because I'm older now than when we first started going, there's a lot more that I know I need to learn, and I just love listening to clinicians talking. So we'll go between either a couple clinicians, and clinics are anywhere from a half an hour, I think some go to an hour and a half. So we kind of go around, we see the breed demos, we see clinics, but since Thursday none of that's going on, we'll just go walk around and walk through the barn, because that's often the most time that we have to be able to see that. And if we see that like a group is setting up a lot, we won't bother going past them at that time. We want to stay out of their way, and then we'll just head back to our hotel for the night. Friday morning we'll get up really early, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. So that's really what's going on Thursday at Horse Fair. They're also putting up like the banners that go on, or that are up around the different arenas. I'm sure they set up a lot more that day. That's kind of when everybody gets there. I know if there's big clinicians that are coming from a far away, they'll kind of be a little more lenient, where they'll maybe let them come in earlier Thursday. I don't know if they'd let them come in Wednesday. I don't know when they have the grounds exactly for setting up. But they definitely try to work with the bigger clinicians who are coming from further away. And for those of you who maybe don't follow Horse Fair real closely and like what clinicians were going to be there, this year the main headliner was Chris Cox, and they were going to do Breakfast with the Legend Saturday morning, which they had started last year with Dan James, who we did go see for the breakfast. And we were going to go see Chris Cox this year, and that's a clinician that had worked with Flash the year we took him, and the clinic they were there for was Rider's Confidence. So it was just really awesome to see them there. I'll see if I can find those pictures some other time, but that's kind of all that's going on. Thursday is just set up, getting horses there, consignment sale, setting stuff up, and that's really it. So there's no reason to be there Thursday as a spectator. It's just, if you're bringing your horse, you bring your horse Thursday. If you're doing consignment, you can be there Thursday. Otherwise, there's no reason to be there. You just would be in the way of people getting ready. And there are people who do a lot of volunteering on Thursday. That's kind of it. And I will tell you guys about Friday tomorrow, because that's when Friday is. And I hope you all have a great night and you're staying home and staying healthy. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye!